The CIA has concluded with medium to high confidence that you personally targeted Khashoggi and you probably ordered his death.
I hope this information to be brought forward. If there is any such information that charges me, I hope it is brought forward publicly.
What kind of threat is a newspaper columnist to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia that he would deserve to be brutally murdered?
There is no threat from any journalist. The threat to Saudi Arabia is from such actions against a Saudi journalist. This heinous crime that took place in a Saudi consulate.
The Biden administration ruled on Thursday that Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed Bin Salman has immunity from a lawsuit over the murder of U.S. journalist Jamal Khashoggi, drawing immediate condemnation from the slain journalist's former fiancee. Jamal Khashoggi was killed and dismembered in October 2018 by Saudi agents in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey, an operation which U.S. intelligence believes was ordered by Crown Prince Mohammed Bin Salman, who has been the kingdom's de facto ruler for several years. Jamal died again today, Khashoggi's ex-fiancée Hatice Cengiz said on Twitter minutes after the news became public. She added later, "We thought maybe there would be a light to justice from the United States, but again, money came first." The Saudi government communications office did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Friday. The spokesman for the Saudi consulate in Washington could not be reached for comment on Thursday evening after business hours. A spokesman for the White House National Security Council said in a written statement, quote, "This is a legal determination made by the State Department under longstanding and well-established principles of customary international law. It has nothing to do with the merits of the case," end quote. The spokesman referred further questions to the State and Justice Departments. In a document filed in U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, Justice Department attorneys wrote that the doctrine of head of state immunity is well established in customary international law. Justice Department lawyers said the executive branch of the United States government, referring to the Biden administration, had determined that defendant Mohammed bin Salman, as the sitting head of a foreign government, enjoys head of state immunity from the jurisdiction of U.S. courts as a result of that office. In late September, Saudi King Salman named Prince Mohammed prime minister in a royal decree, which a Saudi official said was in line with responsibilities that the crown prince was already exercising. Biden was criticized for fist bumping the crown prince on a visit to Saudi Arabia in July to discuss energy and security issues. The White House said Biden had told Prince Mohammed that he considered him responsible for Khashoggi's killing. The prince, known by his initials MBS, has denied ordering Khashoggi's killing, but acknowledged that it took place under his watch. The long-standing alliance between the two countries was strained in October when a decision by OPEC, oil producer group led by Saudi Arabia, to cut oil production unleashed a war of words between the White House and Riyadh. The decision had raised concerns in Washington about the possibility of higher gasoline prices ahead of the November midterm elections. This latest move shows the administration's weakness, some analysts have said. Khashoggi had criticized the Crown Prince's policies in Washington Post columns. He had traveled to the Saudi consulate in Istanbul to obtain papers he needed to marry Cengiz, a Turkish citizen. In a highly charged global atmosphere, the United States is keen to prevent its longtime ally from further distancing itself. Andreas Krieg, professor at King's College in London, went on to say, quote, "Amid great power competition with Russia and China, the United States recognizes that Saudi Arabia has other options, and a further pivot of Saudi to the east must be prevented at all costs," end quote. Oil is definitely thicker than blood, and in this case, the United States will forsake all moral ambiguity for the price of oil. And if they could do that to U.S. murdered journalists, what do you think they would do in light of the victims of the September 11, 2001 attacks, in which Saudi Arabia, at some level, is also complicit in funding of?